Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. So today we're back on the Racing Green and this is the biggest unboxing I've ever done on the channel. Not only in terms of size and boxes, but also in monetary value. So as you can imagine, the car is looking really good. I'm starting to put it all back together now, but there's always just these little washers, clips, grommets, seals and that when you start putting it together, you actually think, there's no point in me putting the old one on, it's rubbish, I'll get a new one. I have spent a lot of money on this car, but I hope you agree, I think it's worth it. I will do a full update on all the costs I've put into this restoration. But for now, I've invested a lot of money into it. I don't think it's worth putting rubbish stuff back on. So I think it's well worth spending the money I have done. So without further ado, let me get the boxes over here and let's see what we've bought. Right, there we go. So, let me get a blade, let's get into it. The first thing I'm gonna do, this is live on camera, this is not edited. As you can see, this box here is marked as glass. So I ordered a new front and rear windscreen. I've not been lucky with mini windscreens lately. So the windscreen and the front and rear screen for the Racing Green, I put them up in the loft. And I've done this last time with the MPI, I rested something on it and it just sits there. It was only something light, but when I went up to check, the glass was broken. The rear window, the heated rear window element was broken off. So I didn't want to faff around repairing it, so I've bought a new heated rear window. So I'm pointing this out because mini spares, you have to sign a disclaimer to say if the screen arrives damaged, it's your liability. Even though the postage, 43 quid I think it was, through DPD, they don't accept liability. Now, fingers crossed it's okay, but for me to take the time to drive up to Potter's Bar, there, back, the fuel or electric in my case, it's probably not worth it. So I've taken a bit of a risk. Let's have a look, let's keep our fingers crossed because if either of these are broken, I've lost money. Like I say, it's all my liability if it's broken. We're off to a good start. So there is one completely undamaged heated rear windscreen. We are 50% of the way there. Woo. I nearly dropped it. 2, there is a completely undamaged front windscreen. So, thank you, Mini Spares. Bit of a risk, but both look perfectly okay. Let me put this somewhere safe. Whew. Got to be honest, my ticker was going there a bit. Right, let's get into the rest of the stuff. So first off, I'll try and be quick with this. So not brand new, but I've got a dim dip resistor. You don't actually need these, you can disconnect them. All they do is when you turn on to position 1 on the ignition, you get dim dip on the headlights. I don't think it was a legal requirement for a Mini of this age, but they started fitting them. But if we're going back to original, that should have been on there. Right, let's try and get through this then. Right, next up, bit boring, consumable. I've got 1500 grit, 3000 grit and 6000 grit Trizact discs. These are for wet flatten the paintwork. They are very expensive. These little small ones like this work out about 75, 80p each, so they're not too bad. But I have also ordered bigger ones as well. But they make the job so much easier, it's worth spending the money on. Next up, almost a box full of nothing. So in this box we have some Faraday or Ferekla G-Mop pads for doing the wet flatting and polishing up the paintwork again. Let's move on to something. Hang on, maybe one more bit. And in here again we've got polishing pads, 150mm pads, medium pads for doing the wet flatting and polishing. Things like this, all those consumables really add up. If you want quality stuff, Ferekla, 3M stuff, yeah, the price goes through the roof. Next up, what do you think's in here? Start guessing. I want to get in here without damaging anything, because what's in here is actually quite expensive comparatively. So I'm not going to keep the packaging ready. So what is in here, don't know whether you can see, those are the plastic roof gutter trims that go around the top of the roof, but they are not the roll that you buy and you put on yourselves. These are original, proper original roof gutter trims. So they're done in 2 halves. They've got the cutouts for the drain channels on either side. Now the cheap stuff, the roller stuff you buy, is 20 quid. These, a pair of these was 100 quid. But I think it's worth it because, like I say, the car's going to be really good, and things like that I think just make the difference. So let's put them up there. So yeah, quite an expensive purchase that. Make sure there's nothing else in the box. Half the time I can't even remember what I've ordered. Oh my word. It's going to make such a mess in the garage. Where do we start? Right, let's start somewhere. So, I have a set of quad optic headlights. So quad optics take the halogen bulbs. This car would have had sealed beam bulbs on it originally. So you've got to adapt the wiring a little bit, I think. These actually come with bulbs in them. They're pretty good value. So first off there, set of quad optics. I have an air filter. You're going to guess that's not for this, that's for Mark's Cooper S, because he placed an order and only ordered one. But of course, it's twin carbs. What else we got? So this is a bit of an extravagance to some degree. So this is purely personal preference. So I've bought a brand new set of white Rover diamond white again, so they match the roof, match the wheels, wing mirrors. Now I say that's a personal preference because the Racing Green would have come with just black mirrors on it originally. These white mirrors were fitted on the later Coopers, but I hope you'll agree with me. I think when you look at the car with the roof and the wheels with those white sort of highlights, it looks absolutely brilliant, and I think the mirrors will just add to that. So not cheap, brand new, 50 quid for them, but they are already painted, so I haven't got to paint them. I guess I could have painted the original mirrors, but I'd run out of white paint, so by the time I bought paint, gone through the hassle of painting them, wasn't really worth it. What have we got now? So I've got, that's just a vent pipe for the fuel tank. Running out of space. Let's put that on the floor. So vent pipe for the fuel tank. I then have, that is, so those are the side strip seals for down the side of the car. I think originally they come with plastic ones, but I've bought the original, and these are quite expensive. The plastic ones are quite cheap, but these are MG Rover ones. They're the ones they fitted on the later sports pack minis, and they seal on that seam joint really nicely, so will just help with corrosion. There should be two of them. There we go. And then I have, so set of door seals as well, or two door aperture seals. One's on there, beaten up, no good, certainly wasn't going to put them back in the car. And I also have, those are the door window seals, so they go inside the door frame and hold the window in place. So the old ones, again, bit beaten up, rubber have gone quite hard. I've then got, this is a grille kit, so we've got the mustache ends and we've got the lip and all the trims for the bonnet. They actually do that in a kit, which makes it nice and easy. Whew. Getting a sweat on. A couple of bags down here, I've not got a clue what's in these. For the purists out there, a pair of indicators amber lenses, because they didn't fit the clear lenses until later on, till the MPI minis, I don't think. So, you know, clear lenses are all the rage, but I actually think it's quite nice nowadays to see the proper original orange lenses on the car. So we're going with orange lenses for the indicators. And then I also have in here a pair of orange side repeaters as well. I've got some festoon bulbs and some, they're just the little plastic clips which go in the body to hold the indicators in place. Save a bit of packaging, let's put them all in one bag. Then we have like Christmas in here, it really is. A pair of headlight rubber rings, original ones, perished, and had overspray on them. They're only a few quid, those rubber rings. And then this is a pair of headlight wiring looms. So as you know, it's had a whole new engine bay wiring loom fitted. These are the looms that go from the engine wiring bay down to the headlights. A couple of trim clips. Always got to be careful you don't leave stuff behind. And then, this is the last bit in here. And then the last bit so the last bit is a Mini Cooper grille. So again, the Racing Green, I don't think come with a Cooper grille, but certainly the 30th anniversary conversion cars come with a Cooper grille. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slat. And there are various different ones you could get. This was, I think, one of the more expensive ones because, yeah, you can get cheap stainless steel ones. This is a more expensive stainless steel one. The cheap ones have really sharp edges. The profile of them not quite right. So brand new grille to go on there as well. Right, I think that box is done. What we got in here? To be fair, earlier when I talked about the delivery cost, I mean the fact that the screen turned up okay is brilliant, and I think in part down to the way it's been packaged up, but there were also 5 boxes delivered. So I guess when you work it out like that, it's not too bad, is it? So I won't take these out of the packaging, but I've got a brand new set of headlamp chrome rings. The old ones, they just had little dents in them. They were nice and clean, but yeah, they were dented slightly. I will say actually, a lot of the stuff which was on the car, it doesn't just get thrown away. At the moment I've been putting it on Facebook Marketplace or I've been putting it on eBay, and again I will have a tot up at the end, but I've probably sold, I reckon, at least £400 or £500 worth of the old parts. So yeah, some of the old bits, they weren't, you know, they were fine to go on a Mini if you wanted something for cheap, but like I want this car to be almost pretty much like brand new. That's a big box for not much in it really. So in this box all we have is a 45 amp alternator. Nothing special. Yes, I could have fitted a 70 amp one, but I don't need a 70 amp one. I'm not running a big sound system or anything like that. The old alternator, it worked, but the bearings were really noisy in it. So again, I'll probably keep the old alternator for a spare if someone gets in trouble in the club or needs one. Obviously I'll have one to help them out. These are going to be, right at the beginning when I said I needed to order some bits and bobs, these are the bits and bobs that I first started putting in the basket. So we got a couple of, they're the indicator looms. I actually think they're the wrong ones. They're the ones for an MPI. They don't cost a lot of money. To be honest, I wasn't quite sure. I thought I'll order them anyway. If I don't use them, I'll probably need them on PO at some point. I've got some new nuts for the wing mirrors. I've got some bolts because I went to put the bolts in the subframe and I've run out of bolts there. Some new clips for the side seam strips. I've fitted one side, but I need to get the other side done. And in fact, I've got two different types. Why have I got two different types? I don't quite know. That's probably me messing up with the baskets and things like that. And then I've got a bag of air. Yeah, a bag with nothing in it. One more box. One more box. Where's my knife gone? I've lost it. So last box. So last box is a pair of door strips. They're the outer weather strips. Again, the ones on there were okay, but the rubber was really, really hard on them. And when the rubber goes hard, they no longer become effective. So that rubber sets up against the window and obviously prevents water from running down the inside of the window, getting inside of the door and corroding your doors away. And then finally, I have a pair of stainless steel bumpers. So these these are not cheap. I can't remember the exact price, but I think for the pair it was 100 quid. So again, you get lots and lots of choice when you buy bumpers. You can buy chromed ones, you can buy cheap stainless steel ones, which are the ones that have got super sharp edges on them, which rip your fingers apart, or you can buy the more expensive stainless steel ones, which have the rolled over end here, because if you're ever washing the car and you've got some of those stainless steel bumpers, you know what I mean. I'm sure you've nearly lost a finger before, as I have done several times, because they're razor sharp. So these are almost, they're done to the original equipment standard. Now, I did have stainless steel bumpers on this car and it wasn't bad. It's just that the profile of them, because they were the cheaper stainless steel ones, is not quite right. And put a new, they look fine on the old front end, but now I put the Heritage front end on, just didn't look right. I might actually just quickly just put this in place and see what it looks like. So straight away that runs the correct line around the front. Be careful, take it on, take it off. So I've got a pair of these bumpers. I'm just going through in my head. Now there are some bits missing. I need to check. Unlikely they've been picked wrong, but you never know. It's more than likely it's just me that's messed up. So these, oh, I did get two of these, that's fine. I was thinking one of them side strips were missing, but they're both there. Is that it? That's it, isn't it? Right, that was the massive unboxing. I'm now poor, but hopefully that is the last big order I need to put into Mini Spares. I'm not disillusional. I'm sure there's probably some other bits which need to come yet. And of course, I'm still waiting for my engine. That still needs to get finished and back to me. And my interior is still off at the trimmers being done. So that's still more money to be spent on the car. So quite a long unboxing today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. And I'll catch you again on the next one when we're getting some of these bits back on the car. Cheers.